Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday, everybody. It's not often I get a Thursday off, but, well, in the food service industry and pub industry and everything else, January is a slower month. So, they do what they can to cut back on costs, and labor is usually the first thing that they deal with. But that's okay. After 30 years, I always know it's coming, and I always take advantage of it if I can. So anyway, tonight is another beer tasting night. Um, so before I get into that, first of all, if you'd be kind enough to please hit that subscribe button, I would love you forever. I love everybody that hits that subscribe button, even if you're kind of a jerk in your real life. I don't know. I don't really care. That's none of my business. But anytime I see that number go up, inching closer to that 1,000 mark, I'm ever grateful and incredibly happy that it's happening. So if you could do that, I would really love that. I'd appreciate it, and thank you very much in advance. And another thing I want to touch on too is something that I got from my dad. Well, it's something he's had my whole life pretty much, because I remember when he got this. And whenever I got family members, someone who, my dad's very much alive. He did have a heart attack this year and pulled through amazingly. And you wouldn't even know that, aside from the fact he went from smoking a lot to still minimally smoking, but still, I'm very proud of him that he's able to go that far. And, I love both my parents to death forever, but I'm really proud of my dad that after he pulled through, he kind of cut down on a lot of things, and he's doing a lot, but he's doing amazing. Like I said, you wouldn't even know that he was ever had an issue. But heirlooms and things like that, for me, I'm not into. I don't care about big things. I don't care about, if somebody passes away, am I going to get some money? Am I going to get this? No, I don't. That doesn't mean anything to me. I don't want my life to change. If something comes my way, it comes my way. I don't anticipate it. I don't even think about it. All I want is little memory things, like things I got that my grandmother passed away, something I took from her house, that I didn't steal anything, but just little things. Oh, I want that. It was just little subtle things. My other grandmother, same thing, and my grandpa, something I've had for years. A couple things that he'd give me that I've kept, and my mom's given me a couple things. There's just memories that I want. That's what I want. And if it's a physical memory, that's what I want. And in terms of my dad, I'm trying to figure out something's going on here. There's a weird timer thing on this. I'm not. See, this is a different camera. It's the secondary camera I have, and it does weird shit all the freaking time that I don't get. So as long as it's recording and it's doing its job and I don't have to do this all over again, then I'm happy. But anyway, speaking of my dad, it was we had to postpone Christmas for a week because my dog was Billy. She was very, very ill. She's doing a little bit better, but she's 15 years old, so she's going to do as good as she can. But I was there, and one thing I've always said to him, the one thing I've only wanted was now this is what you're going to see here. Now it's an old stubby, an old Molson Golden label in a in a beer cozy kind of thing that my dad had since I've been a kid, right? I remember when he opened this. Now, what makes this interesting? Yeah, it's an old vintage stubby that's almost 50 years old, and what it is, it's a Molson beer label, like it was a Molson beer. But if you look, it's a Labatt's. It's a vintage Labatt's bottle that had come in. Now, I guess Labatt printed their name on the bottle. It's actually a really cool bottle if you think about it. The sad thing is, if I took this to the liquor store, there's your 10 cents, and it goes in the crusher and it's gone. Yeah, no. They wouldn't even know how cool this whole thing is. I don't know if it's worth anything. I don't care. But now, if you live in Canada, particularly Toronto, I guess, even more so, but Canada in general, you know that Labatt's and Molson are two competing, like Coke and Pepsi. They're companies that butt heads. They're opposing companies. They've always been competitive. I think Labatt's at one time was the bigger company. I think Molson's bigger now, but don't quote me on that. But so it's a Molson label on an obvious Labatt's bottle. So that is probably the coolest thing. And I bet back in the day when this bottle showed up in the plant, whatever it is, where they fill the bottles, someone saw this and go, put it in, man, put it in. Because it would be the funniest thing that someone would get this. And just so happens that my dad was the one who got it, and I've always loved this. Even during the years where, my teen years, when there was a lot of angst and me and my dad were butting heads a lot, I still always thought this. I always had that memory of him getting this. I remember he opened it up and he had a good laugh. He pulled it out and he's looking at Labatt in a Molson thing, and he kept it. And he has this thing here. It was 1970. What year is this? 78, I think it says on here. 1978. So that would have made me 5 years old. And that's how long he's had this. And that's how long he's had this. And he just, I guess he drank it. Possibly. Doesn't smell like beer. But possibly rinsed it out and just popped it in there. And it's never left this in since 1978. It's almost 45 years it's been in this. And he's had this. And just the other day he gave it to me. So this is another one of my favorite things. You know, I got a cookie jar for my mom that I cherish, I love. I'm going to be doing a video of oldest things I have at some point, but this will be including that, a bunch of other things. But it's one thing I've always loved. But anyway, enough nostalgia. Let's get to what's going on today. So today, it's a beer tasting, and what we got here is Brock Street Brewing Company Milk Chocolate Stout, 5.5% alcohol. Boom, right there. Check that out. You know what? The other day I had it was a porter. I did a video on it. It was a Collective Arts one, and it was really good. And I don't really like stout. I don't really like porter all that much, but that one, I've had this for a few weeks, just like the porter one I mentioned in the video. It's been sitting where I keep my beers when they're not in the fridge. It's been sitting there for a few weeks, and I put it in the fridge because I wanted to make a video and use that. So this one I chose for the same thing. The most refreshing street in Canada. Brock Street. I know Brock Street. But anyway, let's see what it says in the back. All natural premium beer. Oh, it's just a little write-up about their brand. I'll just read it anyway, because I don't know if I've done... I know I've had Brock Street beers. I don't know if I've done a review on one. But Brock Street Brewing Company was founded by four best friends and opened its doors to the public in 2015. The Brock Street Brewing Building, located in historic downtown Whitby. Okay, maybe I don't know because it's in Whitby. I was thinking Brock Street in Toronto, and I was like, okay. It was just after the street. But anyway, in Whitby, features state-of-the-art craft brewery, bottle shop, banquet hall, members lounge, and an elevated gastropub. Brock Street is open daily for sampling and bottle shop sales. So basically, it's their online ad printed on the can. That's essentially what it is. But I'm not knocking the brand. I want to say tasting notes: full-bodied with creamy mouthfeel and a rich chocolate flavor. Our milk chocolate stout finishes slightly sweet, yet still light on the palate. This delicious beer was the gold medal winning stout of the Canadian Brewing Awards. Enjoy. Well, let's see if it lives up to that description. Local, all-natural, premium craft beer. Okay, let me open this up. Oops. It doesn't really have a strong scent to it, though, to be honest. There is a lot of foam. Let me suck back some foam. Doesn't really have a lot of scent to it, to be honest. Doesn't really have a lot of smell to it, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. I do like the label, a little chocolate bar on the label, but let's see. I'm still quite confident this is going to be delicious because that other one I had the other day, different, not this beer, but like I said, from Great Lakes Brewer, and was it great? Now I'm really confusing myself. The porter I had in my last video was really good. So let's see. But yeah, not a lot of smell to it. It doesn't have really. It's not very fragrant, but, which doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a flavorless beer. But it, we'll see how it goes. Let me try it again. That one wasn't too impressive, but let's see. Kind of getting the hint of chocolate. The stout's kind of there. To be honest, even for a stout, it doesn't really have a lot of flavor. I'm not knocking the company. I've had other Brock Street beers, but the most refreshing street, yeah, okay, I already read that. But I'm not gonna lie, it's really not that impressive. It doesn't really, there's not a lot going on in this can. It looks good, the color is nice and dark, but you'd kind of expect that from like a stout. It looks like a stout. It's got the foam like a stout. Like, it's a nice looking beer. When you pour it, it looks good. But I'm not gonna lie, there's really not a lot of flavor to it. Now maybe that's just me. Maybe, I'm not saying don't try it. Yeah, give it a try. If you like stouts, you might love this beer. I never knock, really. It's very rare I'll actually knock the company and say don't try this. There's been a few, but generally speaking, no, give it a try. See what you think. But speaking for me personally, I'm not lining up in any hurry to try this beer again. I would rank this probably about a 5. I mean, for what I was expecting, chocolate stout, it really had me intrigued. Because I don't like stout, but if there's another flavor added in a stout or a porter, I'll go for it. I'll try it out, and it'll probably be, I usually enjoy it, but this one's just not hitting the mark for me. So it's all an opinion. But yeah, give it a try. Like I said, I rank this like a 5. And I am going to drink it. It's anything under 5. There's a good chance I might just pour it down the sink. But, or anything under a 4. But I rarely find, there's only one beer that I am going to do a review on that I would probably expect to be under a 4. But, or 2. One of them's Carib and one's Sleeman Clear. But I've never had a Sleeman Clear sober, so that's why I want to do a review on it. But with that being said, give it a try. 5.5% alcohol, Brock Street Brewing Company. Milk chocolate stout. There it is. And see if I can get myself in there. There it is. Yeah, give it a try. Might have a very vastly different opinion. I'm sure the people at Brock Street Brewery are probably have a very better opinion because they're the ones that made it and marketed it and sent it out. So obviously someone there really enjoys it, and I'm glad someone does because my opinions are exactly that. They're just opinions, but my opinion, this one isn't that good. Anyway, with that being said, if you want to hit that subscribe button. I don't know if anyone from Brock Street will want to do that, but who knows? Anyway, yeah, hit that subscribe button. I really want to hit that 1,000 viewer mark, or 1,000 subscriber mark, and get some views out there. And be safe. Have a good time. Have some beers. Go for a bike ride, and just have fun and be nice to each other. And Until the next one, bye.